Somali pirates risk all for money. In cash-strapped, starving Somalia, the pirate life may be risky, but the payoffs are huge. There's at least one job these days that's recession-proof. If you can handle shark-infested seas and outrun some of the world's most powerful navies, and then keep your cool when your hostages get nervous or antsy. A pirate's life in Somalia isn't for everyone. However, nothing comes easily in one of the poorest and most unstable countries on earth. Somalia has no functioning government. I guess you could call it a pirate nation. And now Zimbabwe, another African nation, is on the verge of collapse. Another country with no functioning government, a breeding ground for terrorists. And when you consider the dearth of career options for Somalis on land, a pirate's life starts to look more than cushy by comparison. Is there any Somali who can earn $1 million for any business? We get millions and millions of dollars easily for one attack, said a pirate who spoke by phone from a pirate den on Somalia's desolate northern coast. Hundreds and hundreds of pirates are zipping around in simple fiberglass speedboats, and usually armed with nothing more sophisticated than automatic rifles or RPGs, have turned the waters off East Africa into a terrifying gauntlet for cargo vessels, oil tankers, and even cruise ships sailing between Europe and Asia. The International Maritime Bureau says at last count at least 42 ships have been hijacked off Somalia this year. And experts in neighboring Kenya estimate that Somali pirates have pocketed at least $30 million in ransoms. In the last few years, it's as high as $150 million in ransoms or more. And while their countrymen suffer through another political crisis and the looming threat of more famine, pirates are splashing $100 bills like play money around the nowhere towns of northern Somalia. Residents say the pirates are building houses, buying flashy cell phones and air-conditioned SUVs, giving money to friends and relatives with hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars, and winning the attention of beautiful women who seem to be flocking to pirate towns from miles around. Yes, they have created a pirate nation. A nation that is out of control. This is another sign of the times. Shopkeepers charge the pirates a premium for food. It is true, says one pirate, who identifies himself as Jama. We are getting very, very rich. Who can stop us? The pirate, who describes himself as a high-ranking member of a group in Somalia, has earned $375,000 as a pirate, enough to buy a Toyota Land Cruiser and to begin building a 6-bedroom house in a town in Somalia, in the regional capital for his family. His biggest payday came last month when he earned a $92,000 share of a $1.3 million ransom for a Greek ship, the MV Centauri, which was released after 10 weeks with its crew unharmed. For years, piracy was a middling trade in Somalia, just one way that desperate young men with guns or weapons could make a living in a desperately poor land. In recent months, however, with food prices soaring, their income the interim government careening toward total collapse, and local authorities powerless or unwilling to intervene. Hardly a day has gone by without an attempt to hijack another ship. Socio-economic status in Somalia is very bad right now, as we know, and this is one of the reasons pirates have turned to hijacking, said Cyrus Modi of the International Maritime Bureau, based in London. There are a few people who are gaining a lot, who are getting rich. In September, pirates captured the world's attention by seizing the MV Fania, a Ukrainian ship carrying tanks, grenade launchers, and other weapons, reportedly to southern Sudan. In November came an even more brazen hijacking. The Saudi-owned Sirius Star supertanker, the biggest ship ever hijacked, loaded with $100 million worth of oil, and both vessels are still being held for ransom. This is crazy. And once again, this is another sign of the times. Countries around the world that are completely lawless, out of control, no functioning government. And what is the world doing about it? Not much, really. Or not really, huh? The U.S. military and NATO have deployed warships to patrol the region, but it's just such a big, huge area to patrol. And China said this week that it would send a fleet to join the effort. Also this week, the UN Security Council has authorized nations to chase pirates onto land, although U.S. military officials are extremely skeptical of that tactic, arguing that pirates can easily blend into the local population. And how are you going to tell who's a pirate and who's not? What are you going to do? Destroy whole villages or towns? Kill all kinds of innocent people? This is quite a problem for the nations of the world, isn't it? Many of the pirates are former fishermen who claim they're retaliating against rich countries for years of illegal fishing and dumping in Somali waters. And a small portion of the ransoms is supposedly going to local fishermen. One pirate group in Somalia goes by the name Saving the Somali Sea. Although residents complain the lion's share of the cash stays in the pirates' pockets. Once again, this is also about greed, pure greed. There's no business increase. It's like how it was before, one resident said. The pirates use a town called Eli, just to take ships, and when they have their money, they go to other towns to spend it. Ransom payments used to be made by a money transfer system that functions as a low-fee Western Union in the Muslim world. But as the sums of money have grown, however, ship owners increasingly rely on helicopter drops from Kenya. So I guess they just drop the money. Wooden crates packed with cash sometimes fall from the sky in Somalia like manna to the impoverished civilians barely eking out an existence on dry land. Money counting machines like the ones at your local bank. We have to make sure it's real money, says one pirate. Tally up amounts so huge that families who have survived on fishing for generations say that young children now want to grow up to be pirates. That's really nice. What a role model. They're teaching young kids how to be pirates. Whenever we hear that a ransom was paid, children's dreams of becoming pirates just increase. The pirates are the hottest men in town. Yes, role models, I guess, for all the little kids. And all these are more signs, the end times, transition days, and there are many, many signs.